Welcome. Welcome to Sue's University of Life here on YouTube. My name is Sue Gaskell Barlow. I am a life coach, some of the little bits of paper titles, life coach, and do a lot of self-development, motivational, and I have a slimming business, lots and lots of different things that I deal and dabble in. I'm an author, written a third book coming out anytime now. And this is my 72nd year. And of course, if you're very wise, you learn a lot as you go through life. You learn information, so you're not ignorant of the truth. And sometimes we think we're right, when in actual fact, it's just our opinion. We do good, bad, right, wrong. And we go through life trying to prove that we matter, trying to be better than people, trying to aspire to whatever goals and dreams we have. And some people never actually reach that stage because they settle for so much less. And so my question is, are you living your dream? Are you actually doing what you know you're passionate about? That you really would do it for nothing. Now that's passion. And passion isn't anger. They're very different emotions. And for a few minutes, I'd like you to just sit back, relax, hopefully subscribe to my YouTube, which would be wonderful. Ding the bell, because then you get to see me actually live. And if anyone is watching, welcome. And if you're watching a recording, stay with me. Just give me 5-10 minutes. And what is a dream? What is living your dream? What's important to you? Do you find that things are important, people, that you feel so much happier and established if you've got lots of material things around? A big house, the fancy car, fancy being not a negative word, fancy being the car that you fancy. And with all those things around, can you sit down and look around and feel totally content within? Or is there a part of you, the part that's real? Real means you, not the things you aspire to, not the roles that you play, not the hats that you wear in order to feel better or to get people to like you or to feel part of a group. The you, outside of all the hats and roles you play. Can you truly sit down and say, I'm content. I'm totally content. And what is your priority and what's important? I know as we get informative in our years as time goes on, one of the most important things you will come to realise is that outside of all the things you can acquire, the one thing that you can never ever replace is your health, the way you've looked after or not your body, and then as a consequence the quality of your life as you come to the autumn of your years. Apparently I'm in the autumn, maybe creeping into winter. I take one season at a time with my life, and anything I've done the very best I could at every stage. I've never set out to hurt somebody intentionally, and I'm sure people will have been hurt by my behaviour, and for that saddens me. However, I accept the reality, I don't hang on to it, and I let it go. No, I'm not responsible for other people's feelings, and I'm not responsible for how people feel by whatever I say. I don't want that control, and I certainly don't need it. I would certainly say to anybody, do not give any one person control over who you are, your choices, and what you want to do with your life. And so, can you truly sit and say you're content? Financially, emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually. And we are having a human experience. We're spirit from another planet for sure. and we're here having a human experience, learning our lessons, creating a heart that's full of love for ourselves and then for other people. And love is a strength, not a weakness. Being kind is a gift that you can give to yourself and then to other people. And then when you have this beautiful heart of love, awareness, meditation is a very important part of everyday life. It will take you to awareness. It will help you to stop believing you're the story in your head and the excuses that you give yourself every time things aren't going okay. You know, it's got to be somebody's fault if you aren't able to lose weight. It's got to be somebody's fault if you haven't got the house you want or the car. Well, you see, then we bring boundaries into things. We have to understand if we feel a bit resentful, that's a boundary issue within the self. And we have to look inside for the answers and not outside. So the car goes, the house goes, the loved one goes. And are you peaceful? Do you have that inner peace? That contentment stays with me now. Nobody can touch it. Sure, as my life each day, situations, I can be shaken, stirred. However, the roots are solidly in the ground, foundation being love, and the ability to know that only you can resolve issues, and that by being honest within the self, your personal reality, which is not anyone else's, they have theirs. And then there's this place where you can actually be. And you know then, you can watch the voice in your head, the story, the drama, and it's a joy because it's not you. You can watch how you feel about something, think onto the thought, onto the feeling, and then act it out and get the same result because we live on automatic pilot programming. Don't even realise we're doing it. And then the joyous day when you find out, my goodness, that's not who I am. I can change. I do have choices. And it's the most wonderful thing to unlearn some of the language that you speak to yourself and others and relearn a language of love. And then people say, what is love? In the human condition, there are so many different types. It is amazing. Love, there isn't a word for it. There isn't a word to describe that feeling, that emotion. If I would attempt to describe it, when you see a newborn baby, that feeling of utter amazement, wonder, that baby is the love I'm trying to talk about. It's pure, it's innocent, it's real, vulnerable. And as human beings, we have to protect that vulnerable side of who we are. It's quickly taken away by adults who control, teach us right from wrong, good and bad, from their belief system. Again, doing the best they can. Mostly fear-based. And so it's with great joy that I can actually say to you, the listener, I being the speaker, you can go within, be a great detective, be curious. Don't believe anything that people tell you without questioning it for yourself. Just say, oh, what makes you think that? Where did you learn that from? No challenge. So you don't even have to argue when you watch people behaving and believing in things that you have no concept of. It's an amazing journey. It's full of ups and downs, this journey of life in the human condition. When it comes to spirit, and I'm going to finish on this, I dreamt last night. I went off on a spiritual journey. And all I know is I will never forget that I was floating around in and out of people, thinking I was in my human body, And then I suddenly realised that people didn't know I was there. I was floating, I was flying. Well, I want that experience again for sure. And you could say, oh, well, you could justify what it was, and that's absolutely okay. What I know for sure, that it was beautiful and I'd like to experience it again. And that's a bit how I feel in life. I'm flying. Without wings, I'm growing enormously. Thanks for joining me, Sue Gaskell Barlow, here on Sue's University of Life.